Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, I am in the middle of moving house. I'm literally sat in the room with boxes everywhere. I'm about to take all my gear, all my ASMR recording stuff and put them in a box. So before I do that, I will do a little update on the main leagues in Europe as well as the Cup of Nations and the Asian Cup. So at least we're up to date for the time being, and then when I get all set up in my new house, in my new little office, then we won't have too many results outstanding. I want to start, if it's okay, with the Cup of Nations and the Asian Cup because I've been watching them avidly. They're both really entertaining ones this year. The big news in the Cup of Nations is that basically most of the big favourites are out already. So at the quarterfinal stage, we've got Nigeria, who are probably the best team left, who've not been playing brilliantly, against Angola, Cape Verde against South Africa, who put out Morocco, and then on the other side of the draw we've got Mali against Cote d'Ivoire, who put out Senegal, even though they only managed to finish third in their group and sacked their manager in the middle of the tournament. So their caretaker manager managed to beat Senegal, and then Egypt are gone. They lost out to the Congo, DR Congo, and they are against Guinea in the quarterfinal there. So I think the favourites for the tournament at the minute are Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire, but no one really standing out as being absolutely outstanding. But I'll tell you, it's been a very entertaining tournament. I wouldn't say the football has been entertaining. It's been very, very hot. The players look like totally exhausted. The stories being told are the most interesting part. Really freak results. I thought Equatorial Guinea, after they did really well in the group, would beat Guinea. They didn't. And Namibia managed to get out of the group. We saw quite a lot of different shocks. Tunisia finished last in their group. Let's have a look at the tables. So Guinea finished top above Nigeria and Ivory Coast. Ghana went out, only 2 points. Cameroon struggled to get through. Gambia didn't even score a single point. Algeria finished bottom of the group. They were one of the favourites. Tunisia finished bottom of the group. They were one of the favourites to get at least to, say, a quarter-final. Zambia, previous winners, couldn't make it out of the group either, instead of DR Congo. So yeah, lots of really interesting stories. Can't believe Namibia got through out of that group. Really strong group: Mali, South Africa and Tunisia. So yeah, I recommend keeping an eye on that. I have been absolutely loving the Asian Cup though. So there's been basically no hype. You've got to really look for the information on, say, BBC or FOTMob, which I'm using now. But the matches have been absolutely sensational. This been played in Qatar, in the same stadiums as the World Cup, so the stadiums are absolutely stunning, and the quality of football has been brilliant. It has had its shocks, but not in the same way as the African Cup of Nations, so the big teams are still in it, mostly, but we're in a situation where we've got some complete outsiders that have really punched above their weight. And there are very few moments where one of the usual teams has won by, a large amount. I think the only big results I've seen are from Australia and possibly Iran at the minute, but all the other matches are really close. So Tajikistan are probably the story of this tournament. They have never even qualified for an Asian Cup before, and they've made it to the quarterfinals. They are against a Jordanian team that put out Iraq, who topped their group and beat Japan in the group. So Iraq were looking really good. Jordan put them out due to some red card shenanigans. So the Jordan themselves look pretty decent in the group stage. So they are through, and one of Jordan or Tajikistan is going to be in the semi-finals. They are going to be against either Australia or Korea. Saudi Arabia were cruising against Korea, but then Korea scored in deep into injury time in the 99th minute, and then ended up winning on penalties. Fascinating match. Iran against Japan. Syria took Iran to penalties, surprisingly. That's Iran's only hiccup really so far. They look good. Japan did lose that game, as I said, in the group stage to Iraq, but otherwise looking pretty decent. And then Palestine held out as best they could against the host nation and holding champions, current champions, Qatar. But the Qatar went through. Thailand also put up a good fight against Uzbekistan, but they made it through. So Qatar against Uzbekistan in that quarter final as well. Quick look at the final table. So Qatar, Tajikistan, China went out. Australia, Uzbekistan, Syria went through. India finished bottom. Iran, UAE, Palestine. So Palestine went through. Hong Kong. Don't be fooled, they actually put up a bit of a fight in that group. Iraq, Japan, Indonesia got through. Vietnam messed up but didn't get through. Bahrain finished top of their group in a group with South Korea, and Jordan also made it through. So Jordan in the quarterfinals, maybe a semi-final for them, and they only finished third in their group. And lastly, Saudi Arabia and Thailand getting out of that group. I do recall the year that Portugal won the Euros in France. They finished third in their group with 3 points, 3 draws, and they managed to win it. So yeah, it's on. Okay, thank you for humouring me. I do swear it's a really, really good tournament. Okay, so let's look at the Premier League then. So Liverpool are top. Man City have a chance of closing the gap to 2 points if they win their game in hand, but currently they're second on 46, as are Arsenal. Tottenham winning, as of recording this video last night, put them back in the top 4. Aston Villa losing to Newcastle takes them out of the top 4. West Ham in a good position in 6th. And then some really big teams down here. Man United, Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea. Everton falling into the bottom 3. Burnley and Sheffield United still haven't managed to get out. So Tuesday's matches, Nottingham Forest lost at home to Arsenal 2-1. Late goal from Awoniyi, but Arsenal looked superior throughout really. Not a very good job done by their former goalkeeper. Fulham, Everton 0-0. Fulham saying that they should have won it. I haven't seen the match itself, the highlights. Oh, I can see why, yeah. Although total shows 21 from Everton, that's not bad. Luton beating, I totally missed this. Beating Brighton 4-0, what on earth? Wow, Adebayo with a hat-trick. Insane. That's why Luton are out of the drop zone. Crystal Palace beating Sheffield United 3-2. 2 more goals from Eze and 1 from Olise. Excellent players those. And then that result there, 2 goals from Fabian Schär from corners. And they beat Aston Villa in Birmingham 3-1. Seems like they got out of their little slump. Man City beating Burnley 3-1. 2 goals from Alvarez. Saw the return of their main man up front, Haaland. Tottenham beating Brentford in a feisty little London derby 3-2. Brentford were just completely all over them in the first half. Second half, within minutes, with some changes, they brought on Brennan Johnson. Udogie scored first, and Johnson scored a minute later, and then Richarlison scored, and then a weird back pass. Tony was standing behind the goalkeeper. Udogie back passed the goalkeeper, and then Tony just ran in front of him and then scored. But yeah, it was very feisty. It's a good match. I would say the Neil Maupay, oh my god, he mocked the celebration of what's his face? The English international Maddison with the dart really early on, and it just riled the whole team up. I think he, and he was pushing players all over the place. He was really wound up for that match. I don't know what he was on. I was really angry with him for the whole match because I thought he was being ridiculous, but then right at the end he went over to Maddison and shook his hand and they had a laugh and a joke, so Maddison seemed to see the funny side of it at least. Nicer person than me. I would have been so rude to him. Liverpool beating Chelsea 4-1 in the end. Jota, Bradley, Soboslai and Diaz against Nkunku. And West Ham tonight, full-time result. West Ham Bournemouth 1-1. Another set piece from Ward-Prowse. How many points does he earn your team in a year? And Man United desperately tried to throw this result away, but they managed to unfortunately win it. They really tried to give it to Wolves by the looks of it. So they were winning 2-0, then it was 2-1, then it was 3-1. Then they decided to let 2 late goals in for a laugh, and then Mainu scored in the 97th minute because, you know, they can't just win a match easily nowadays, can they? And obviously there's that fuss at the moment with Rashford. Something about he went to a nightclub and then got in trouble with the boss. Right from arriving, all Erik ten Hag has had to do is just discipline players all the time. It's just, he must be exhausted with it. Some of the players in that team just need to like grow up. Okay, so that is the Premier League. Let's have a quick look at the Championship. Leicester top, beating my team Swansea 3-1. Ipswich second. Southampton. So Ipswich have just got Kiefer Moore on loan today. Southampton have got David Brooks, amazing player on loan. So they're both making very good cases to get into the Premier League with the Welshies. Leeds full of Welshies, they're in 4th. West Brom, Coventry. And then we've got Cardiff in 14th, Swansea in 17th, and QPR, Sheffield Wednesday, and Rotherham down the bottom. Okay, let's go to Serie A. Inter still top. Juve have played 1 game more, and they're a point behind. AC Milan, Atalanta up in 4th. Roma sneaking into 5th position with their new boss, Daniele De Rossi. Fiorentina in 6th, Lazio 7th, Bologna dropping now to 8th after being in 4th a couple of weeks ago, but champions, Napoli down in 9th. Cagliari, Empoli and Salernitana down the bottom. Recent results. Torino beating Cagliari 2-1 on Friday. Atalanta beating Udinese 2-0. Juve drawing with Empoli 1-1. Baldanzi, I believe he's the player that has just been sold to Roma. They've just paid to have him on loan, but they have to buy him at the end for 15 million. AC Milan, Bologna 2-2. 2 from Loftus-Cheek. 1 from one of my favourite players in the league, Orsolini. Not easy to get a result in San Siro. Very good result that. Genoa beating Lecce 2-1. Verona beating Frosinone drawing 1-1. Monza beating Sassuolo 1-0. Napoli and Lazio drawing, and Inter winning at La Viola. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Lautaro Martinez. I think his record this season is insane. Let me just see. So, I think he scored as many goals as he's played. 19 goals, 19 matches. That is insane. What a player. The pen's not working. Okay, and as I said, sneaking results. Not yet playing any better, I must say. But Dybala with a penalty, and then Pellegrini with a lovely volley. Castanos with a nice goal as well. 2-1. away to the bottom team. Salernitana again. Can't be happy with some of the refereeing decisions. They were 50-50. But if I were a Salernitana player, this is Salernitana who have just feel like all of the refereeing results are against them at the minute. There were some 50-50 decisions that absolutely could have gone their way. So I feel quite sorry for them. And then tomorrow, Lecce play Fiorentina. Okay, let's pop to Germany then. The Bundesliga. Leverkusen still top. Bayern Munich, I'm not sure of their policy, of the recruitment policy at the minute, but they've got a couple of extra players in. They're in second, 2 points from the top. Stuttgart then is a massive gap, 10 points. Dortmund have got back into the top 4, Leipzig in 5th, Frankfurt in 6th. Remembering that 5th spot for Germany might give a Champions League spot to that club for next year, so 5th is a good spot to be in. Union Berlin out to the bottom 3, Cologne, Mainz and Darmstadt are down there. Let's see why. So Frankfurt beating Mainz 1-0. Mario Götze, World Cup winner, with the goal. Augsburg just lost to Bayern. Actually, it's a penalty in the 94th minute. Kane scored again. I saw that goal from Davis. There was an offside goal for Augsburg, which could have put them in front at the beginning of the match, and then Pavlovic scored for Bayern Munich, and then it all started to go to pot. Davis's goal was lovely. And then we've got Hoffenheim, Heidenheim 1-1, Stuttgart hammering Leipzig 5-2. Hat-trick from Undav, the Turk. Werder Bremen beating Freiburg 3-1, Wolfsburg and Cologne 1-1. Paredes and Alidou. Leverkusen could only draw with Mönchengladbach. But they were all over them, look. Should have had 3 goals. Hope that doesn't hurt them at the end of the season. Union Berlin beating Darmstadt 1-0 with a goal from Hollerbach. And Dortmund beating Bochum 3-1, hat-trick from Füllkrug, with 2 of those being penalties. Again, he's another player who's having a fantastic season. I think, anyway. Stats. 9 goals, 19 matches. Okay, maybe not fantastic, but pretty decent. Seems he came from a lower... Werder Bremen, Hanover. He's worked his way up the leagues. Okay. Turkey. Fenerbahce still neck and neck at the top with Galatasaray. Better goal difference. Trab are 3rd and Besiktas are 4th. Istanbulspor at the bottom. Let's see how that happened. Saturday, Alanyaspor and Pendikspor 1-1. Adana, Demirspor losing at home to Hatayspor 1-0. Konyaspor losing at home to Istanbul Başakşehir 3-2. Fatih Karagümrük beating Rizespor 4-0. Sivasspor beating Besiktas 1-0 with a goal from Manay. Fenerbahce beating Ankaragucu 2-1, 2 goals from Cengiz Ünder. Istanbulspor and Samsunspor 1-1. And Kayserispor at Antalyaspor 1-1. Kala Çimbombom beating Gaziantep 2-1. Zaha and Yilmaz with the goals. And then Trab losing at home to Kasım Pasha. Let's go to the Eredivisie. PSV still top, Feyenoord second, Ajax are 5th, with Vitesse still down bottom. Results. Vitesse lost to Zwolle on Friday. On Saturday, PSV Eindhoven beat Almere 2-0 with 2 goals from Luc de Jong. Valvik and Sparta Rotterdam 1-0. Excelsior Utrecht 1-0. Toornstra with the goal for Utrecht. Ajax beat Heracles 4-2. 2 more goals from Probe, Berghuis and Lunsson. They don't seem to have lost Probe in this window yet, I don't think. But in the summer maybe. Heerenveen drew with Alkmaar 2-2. Feyenoord could only draw with FC Twente 0-0. Go Ahead drew 2-2 with Nijmegen. And Volendam lost at home to Fortuna Sittard 1-0. Okay, La Liga. Real Madrid legitimately top now over Girona by 2 points. Atleti and Barcelona, Barça 3rd and 4th, 47. A little gap opening up now. Athletic Club in 5th, Sociedad in 6th. Okay, Saturday, Friday, Depor Alaves winning away 3-0 to Almería. Sociedad and Rayo Vallecano 0-0. Real Madrid beating Las Palmas 2-1. Vinicius getting another goal. Barca losing at home 3-5 to Villarreal. And of course Xavi announcing that he's going to leave at the end of the season. I don't blame him, he's under incredible pressure. Look at that, 71% possession, 22 shots to 9, and they lose by 5 goals. It's incredible, isn't it? Didn't even have a player sent off or anything. Penalty cancelled, dear, and then they conceded 2 goals at the end. I don't blame him. It must have been his dream job to go back to Barca and be the manager, but yeah, I don't. The recruitment has been insanity, isn't it? It's just been like buy players, and I think a club like Barcelona has to be youth first, bring in some absolutely top talent. You can't tell me that some of the players that they've got here are, you know, I remember growing up in Barcelona or Real Madrid would buy whoever was perceived to be the top player in the world. There's been zero talk about Mbappe going to Barcelona, Erling Haaland going to Barcelona. You know, they're buying Felix, who's not worked at the last 2 clubs he's been at. Lewandowski on a free, and he's what, like 47 years old or whatever. De Jong is very good. Romeu used to be a Southampton player, no offence Southampton, but Gundogan, yeah, he is old and he wasn't free, but he is amazing. I mean, who is Pena, for example? Is he one of the youth? Iñaki Pena, 24. Christiansen, was he even that good for Chelsea? I don't rate half these players that they've got. Cancelo couldn't make it at Man City. Pedri and Torres, fine, yeah, no problem. And then the rest are youth. But it needs to be youth with world-class talent. So, yeah, I just don't think that Barcelona have a world-class team at the minute, to be honest. So I feel sorry for Xavi. Real Betis beating Mallorca 1-0. Girona beating Celta Vigo 1-0, goal from Porto. Athletic Club 0-0 with Cádiz. Sevilla managed to get a point against Osasuna 1-0, and Atleti beating Valencia 2-0. Goals from Lino and Depay. And Getafe beating Granada 2-0. before the midweek matches of Getafe Granada 2-0 to Getafe, Barcelona beating Osasuna 1-0 and Atleti beating Rayo 2-1. And this evening, Real Madrid have beaten Getafe in the Madrid derby. 2 goals from Joselu, talking about players that aren't world class playing for Real Madrid and Barcelona. Bless him. Yeah. Who was the goal scorer for Barca? Roque. You know, it seems he's got the tactics right in some respects, because at a glance I haven't watched them play that much other than in the Champions League. I watched them destroy Antwerp and thought, oh, Barcelona are back. But it's just not gone right since then. And I suppose I should do an honourable mention at this point to Liverpool, because obviously their manager's leaving at the end of the season as well, but he's leaving under very different circumstances. He's left because basically he's done it all now, hasn't he? I wonder what his plans are. Is he going to have a break? Is he going to retire? Is he going to go back to Germany? I don't actually know what his plans are, Klopp, but wish him the best luck anyway. He's a fantastic manager and a great guy. But although I wouldn't have announced it at this point in the season, because I don't think they were trying to recruit anyone, but it would maybe damage that. Unless, because there are the outside chances they might get Mbappe. I don't think it'll happen, to be honest. But I suppose maybe he's signalling that, unless of course he goes to Barcelona, and then Mbappe does go to Barcelona, I don't know. But it's a bit of an odd time. I wouldn't actually announce it this early on in the season. It's too far ahead. But he's done it for whatever reasons he's done it. So, okay, Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain, of course, are top. Nice still hanging on there in second. Brest having this amazing season in third. Monaco, Lille and Reims. Marseille down in 7th. Rennes in 9th. And Lyon in 16th, but at least they're not bottom anymore. Clermont and Lorient down below them. Lyon actually lost at home to Rennes 3-2. 2 goals from Terrier. Nice beat Metz 1-0 with a penalty from Guesson. Marseille could only draw with a 9-man Monaco 2-2. Aubameyang's done quite well since going back. Montpellier, Lille 0-0, Clermont, Strasbourg 1-1, Lorient, Le Havre 3-3, Reims, Nantes 0-0, Toulouse lost home to Lens 2-0, and Brest, like I said, they're having a great season. 10-man PSG 2-2 in Paris. Very impressive. They weren't hammered on the stats either. Well done. I'm tired of the same teams winning the leagues all the time. It's very boring. So I kind of want all of the usual suspects to not win this season across Europe. I'd love a Girona, a Leverkusen, maybe an Arsenal, or yeah, that would be quite nice across the different leagues. I don't envisage Nice catching up with Paris Saint-Germain, but there we go. Okay, we'll just have a quick look at the Scottish Premier League. Celtic top, Rangers second, 5 points difference. Saturday we saw Rangers beat St Mirren 1-0 with a goal from Dessers. Celtic beating Ross County 1-0, first minute from Johnston, the Canadian. Hearts beating Aberdeen. Aberdeen have sacked their manager as a result. Grant and Shankland. Hibs and Kelly 2-2. Dundee beating Livingston 4-1 away. St Johnstone and Motherwell 1-1. And then midweek Aberdeen Dundee 1-1. Miovski with another goal. He's having a good season at least. And Livingston Ross County 2-2. Aberdeen's next game is at home to Celtic. And Portugal, Sporting are top by a point ahead of Benfica. Sporting, of course, finished 4th last season, so they're having a really good season this year to make up for it. Porto are in 3rd, Braga in 4th. So Sunday. Sunday's results were Portimonense beating Boavista away 4-1, Moreirense beating Famalicão 1-0, Porto beating Farense 3-1. Let's see who's called, because Taremi is away with Iran at the moment. Evan Nielsen with 2 and Varela with 1. Aruca beating Vizela 5-0. Gil Vicente beating Vitória 1-0. Wow. Benfica beating Teman Estrela da Amadora 4-1. Even Otamendi got on the score sheet. And Sporting beating Casapia 8-0. More goals from Gyökeres, 2 in this case, and 2 from Trincão. Rumours of them not being able to hold on to Victor Gyökeres in the summer already emerging. And then 2 more. Rio Ave 1-0 with Estoril, and Braga drawing with Chaves 1-0. My pen is irritating me. I changed the screen. And it's too thick now for the pen. Okay, we'll just take a look quickly at the A-League and then we'll finish. So Wellington Phoenix still top, or maybe they've gone back to top actually, and Melbourne in 2nd. Down the bottom are Western United. Loads of results. Where should we start? I think we'll do from there. Melbourne beating Adelaide 1-0. Melbourne victory, drawing with Sydney 1-1. 10-man Sydney. And then Western Sydney Wanderers beating Western United away 1-0, excuse me. Welly beating Newcastle Jets away 2-1. Rufa and Zawada with the goals. Central Coast Mariners beating Brisbane 2-0. MacArthur and Perth 2-2. Davila and Germain, and Amini and Williams on the 93rd to get a point. Okay, I will leave it there for the moment, and I'll have a little move of house, set up my new studio, and hopefully we'll get back to doing more regular videos. Again, thank you so much for the support in the meantime, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, drop a comment, let me know about Klopp and Xavi, and your opinions, and yeah, I'll see you again really soon, okay?